Marriage without love. Then you must definitely read my husband and wife's story. My husband and I know each other through matchmaking, both are not young for each other. There is no love between us, but more like roommates. The correct concept to describe our marriage is encapsulated in 2 words: responsibility. My wife is a simple, smiling girl. When I come home late from work, she will read a book in the living room. When I'm hungry, she will get up and cook for me. Sometimes, I do a few games with my aunt and brother. She will sit behind me and watch, laugh, joke, say, "Don't understand." Of course, I was also curious to learn about the things you like. For example, the movies Cung Due or something. In fact, I couldn't remember which character I watched. I don't understand why they have to fight for the same man, but I still want to watch it with you. There were times when I realized that our marriage was like a mission to be completed. When I reached the marriageable age, I nodded in agreement to get married. After she agreed to marry me, we lived together under the same roof. My wife is a very optimistic person and loves to laugh. But I am also a very independent, strong and opinionated person. And you wonder why I know that there is no love between us husband and wife? Because I know, the appearance of a girl when she loves someone is not like her wife to me now. My wife is a very good person to handle things alone. She also never wants to trouble me. At most, text me asking me to come pick her up after work, but on the condition that I also leave work at the same time as her, and she always thanked me afterwards. There was never an argument between us. Of course, when living together, it is inevitable that there will be times of disagreement. Each time, my wife and I calmly sit down to share our views, never once harshly speaking to each other. Extremely civilized, polite like soulmates. My wife always respects my personal preferences, including that I like to play relaxing games after work. Not only is she not angry, but she also tells me that everyone has their own preferences, and I respect that. If we have overtime or come home late, we just need to text each other to notify each other for an hour. There are no messages or interrogation calls like the couples out there. Both of us are very busy with work, so we hardly talk to each other, let alone give each other lovely nicknames, full of love like any other normal couple. In front of the opponent, we always maintain our rationality. You will thank me if I do the housework, in return I will thank you for preparing a late-night meal for me. Of course, there are times when we are together, for example, sitting together on the sofa in the living room to watch TV, but there is no intimate action, each person sitting quietly watching. Our married life is also a little different. When we were both tossing and turning, she would hug my neck and suggest, "Let's do something," while I can't sleep. It was not until she reached the most orgasmic moment that she called my name, which was also the most intimate act that we felt each other. Every time we go home to see our parents, it's like we have telepathy. My wife would happily clasp my hands and feed me a piece of freshly peeled fruit. Then happily chat with my mother about women's issues. Every time my mother complained about my father, she was full of praise for me, helping me play the role of a reliable husband, 2 loving spouses. Actually, I have also thought about this. My parents consider her as their own daughter, so she also treats them well and respects my family. I also really love my wife's parents. The first time I came to her house, even though there were only 4 people in the family, she cooked 10 dishes. When eating, she did not stop picking up food for me until the bowl of rice piled up like a small mountain. My wife's house is not too big, but it is very clean. Her parents are retired workers. From the first time I met them, I felt that they were very close, very similar to my parents. I knew they were both good parents. Every time I go to my wife's house, I always receive the thoughtful attention of the 2 of them. They worry that I can't eat well, can't sleep, because I'm not used to the climate in this countryside. So they did an extra layer of insulation for my wife's room. I feel so happy to have another father who loves me as much as my biological parents. To repay their interest, I used to send him some of the fancy cigarettes my father-in-law liked, or send them train tickets so they could come up to our place to play. Last winter, my father-in-law's health had some problems. He hid it from his mother-in-law. I also hid my wife from contacting an old friend who was a doctor to take her father-in-law for a health check. I do so not merely as a son-in-law's responsibility, but in my heart I am very worried about his health. I want to be able to be by his side to take care of him like a son. That afternoon for me was like a dream. My father-in-law and I spent half a memorable day together. To this day, it's still a little shared secret between the two of us. Perhaps many people will envy our loveless marriage. But actually I don't think it's that ideal either. I often attend meetings with brothers who are also married, listening to them complain about their wives and children. They complain about every call from their wives to come home after 10 p.m., complain about having to take care of the children, and the children refuse to sleep without their father by their side. If I say it out, no one will believe it, but I expect my wife to call and urge me to come back like them. I'm really jealous when I see them arguing with their wives over the phone. Regarding the issue of children, I also carefully discussed with my wife that she would give birth late. Because I'm not very talented, I've only had a little career in my 30s, I also have a stable job, so I'd also respect my decision about having children and taking care of them later. So the couple decided to have a baby in a few years. After arguing with his wife, my brother shyly turned to laugh and said that his wife's temper was a bit clunky. How jealous he is of me. I can only smile shyly, say nothing, but raise my cup. In my heart I thought, if my temper is not good, secretly having an affair with other people, will when my wife learns that you will decide to divorce? Or will you just ignore me? Not long ago, my wife's grandmother passed away. Since childhood, my wife has lived next to her grandmother. Her feelings are extremely deep. It was also the first time I saw my wife unable to control her emotions. After hanging up, she wanted to go down to the garage alone, but I chased her and pulled her back. At that moment, I could only quietly stay by her side, driving all night to bring her home. After finishing everything, on the way back, the light was red, and she gently patted my hand and said, "You're tired, aren't you?" I shook my head and smiled softly at her. How can I be tired when I'm with her? She's feeling broken, so helpless, a state she's never shown to me in the time we've been together. Grief is like that, but she just silently shed tears, her thin body crouched on the small passenger seat. I suppress the pain in my heart, because I have to be the support for her right now. During that time, I often lost sleep. One night, I bravely put my hand under her neck, wanting to hug her when she slept. I felt her trembling a little, but still came to my side. Perhaps you find this difficult and surprising. She lay in my arms because she didn't want to refuse me, and I wanted to hug her to ease the pain she was suffering. In the dark, I said nothing but pretended to be asleep. I felt her long eyelashes fluttering on my neck. This stupid girl was so depressed that she couldn't sleep until midnight. But lately, my mood has calmed down a lot. When I come home from work, I will see you watching a movie or reading a book. She still helps me make late-night food. When eating, she will smile softly and talk to me. I wonder, how enthusiastic is your image in youth? Will you be the same as you are in front of me now? Even though she was sitting across from me, I felt like I was so far away from her that I couldn't reach her. My wife is a very nice girl, not because she has become my wife that I praise her, but for anyone who knows me, I will recognize that I am very nice, whether my personality or qualities make it impossible for others to refute anything. Even though I am not married to you, in my eyes you are very beautiful. On holidays, over the years, we have always prepared gifts for each other. On my birthday last year, when I was 28 years old, she prepared a birthday cake for me, and cooked me a delicious bowl of truongdo noodles. From across the table, she wished me a happy birthday and asked me to make a wish. Surprisingly, when I said my wish, my wife didn't feel embarrassed, she just smiled and gently accepted. I wished that, if time could go back, let me return to your most brilliant youth, I would see what kind of person you like would be. After that, I will definitely try to become the role model that you love, devoting my entire youth to you. You don't have to wait until almost 1/5 of your life has passed to meet you, then live the days of respect as new * with you. * respect as tan can be understood as respect each other like guests. Having said that much, everyone must have noticed already, right? At first, I myself deliberately ignored everything, saying that there was no love between us. But the truth is that after entering this marriage, I have gradually come to like you, really have feelings for you. I'm not sure either, maybe you won't like me? If you marry another man, I believe he will also fall in love with you. It is impossible not to be touched by a beautiful girl like you, just like me. Talking about this case makes me uncomfortable. In fact, both of us look pretty good. Sometimes there will be a few trainee girls who want to approach me, want to talk to me. Every time like that, I would immediately call my wife, wanting her to come pick me up. But the sad thing is that you never asked me why I called you to pick me up. Besides my wife, there are also many butterfly species that flirt and want to get close to her. Once, my company recruited a new intern. He even dared to ask my wife to go for a walk in the evening. Of course my wife won't do anything wrong to me. Instead, she insisted on dragging me along with her, forcing me to listen with her to the complaints about eroding the ears of the young man who had just entered the world. I don't dare say I'm handsome, but I'm sure compared to guys with a milky mouth, a mature man with a career like me is more certain than sure. Since then, I also quit playing games. Every night I take her hand for a walk. There is one more happy thing that I want to share here. I'm about to be a father. Hope you guys find your other half soon too.